Hello, and welcome to BattleRisk Gaming. Content brought to you by a dad who loves to game. As always, if you hear any background noise, please forgive it. It is just my family. Today, we're going to discuss whether or not Guild Wars 2 is still worth it in 2025. So, let's get into it. Alright, so I'm trying out a new voice changer mod, so if you hear me playing around in there, well, that's all I'm doing. Just playing with it. So, alright, so I'm coming back in on my Charr engineer. And, let's just see how things go. Just start unlocking waypoints. And, yeah. So, in the previous video, one of the comments stated that this game just looks so outdated and the combat just... What was the actual comment? The game looks outdated and the combat is just kind of meh. It was kind of like the gist of the comment. I don't remember it word for word off the top of my head. Well, I would like to say the graphics, while they are not the absolute best in the world, they're, they're still okay. I've played a lot of online games, and I've seen much worse graphics than this, but it's somewhat to be expected when you have a bit of an older game. Get into some war here. Give me some defensives there. Just until I can get some better weapons. But like I was saying, it's kind of to be expected with some of these older games. They are running on older engines. But what's most important is gameplay. So the true... Sorry. Didn't realize this person was my same level. There we go. Man, it is harder to kill than I thought. But anyways, the true test of these kinds of games is going to be whether or not the story is still relevant, if they are continuously making content, and if they are... they have good storylines and their expansions are good. They're not like cheesy or strange. And they're not just cash grabs, right? Because you don't want to just spend money on a game and then have it be just a cash grab, because that would make you feel pretty sad. Yeah, it'd make you pretty sad. So what's really important is that you are able to come in and have fun with a game. And I have come into this game and I've been having fun. And I don't know why this spy is with me. Okay, are you going to keep following me? You are. Where is that? Over here. Alright. Let's hope we don't die. We're going to mount up. We're going to head over. So, when I'm looking at Guild Wars 2, I try to look at it holistically, right? Not just as a game that is going to be, with the newest graphics and AAA level, and, that's a selling point. Don't get me wrong. That is a huge point of interest. But what's also really important, and I think is actually more important than graphics, is how the game feels. And this is an MMO. It's not turn-based. It's not... Oh, I shot the wrong thing. Sorry, Black Sheep. Baba, Black Sheep, have you any... Wait, I forgot. Baba, Black Sheep, have you any wool? Okay, there we go. I'm just trying out some different things. But, it's not going to just be if it has... the best graphics, or if it has the I kind of lost my train of thought. Let me gain it back. I look at the game holistically. Okay, I'm not just looking for best graphics. I want good storyline, and I want the potential for longevity. And MMOs are always going to be somewhat of a grind, no matter what. But I don't want it to be an endless grind. Those kind of games, they become very tiring after a while, especially since most of the time when you get to the point of you know, not needing to grind anymore because you're maxed out, they drop a new expansion or a new area, and then you're back into the grind. And deep grind, I mean, like, you're literally spending hours and hours and hours and hours, and that's not really that exciting to me, because you get to the point of just getting so burnt out you don't even want to play the game anymore sometimes. Some games are notorious for that. I feel like that's kind of what WoW is built on, personally, is you've got them dropping expansions regularly, which is really cool, but then when a new expansion comes out, for you to be relevant at all, you have to buy it so you can get the new gear. Otherwise, you're just not going to really be effective. And that's kind of what I like about this game so far, is there is no, you have to buy this expansion in order to be effective. You get to max level and you have good gear and you get your specializations and everything spec'd out right. Yes, there's going to be a little bit of grind and a little bit of meta chasing for sure, because that's just how MMOs are. You're not going to get away from it. But it's not as extreme as some games where, like in Destiny, for example, they come out with a new expansion. It used to be worse. It's not as bad as it used to be, but they would come out with new content, and then all of your current gear is now trash, and you have to grind, and if you don't grind, you're not going to be relevant at all, not even a little bit. So that's one major selling point. If you're wondering if Guild Wars 2 is worth it for 2025, that's a major selling point. It's just the fact that the grind exists, but it's not so grindy that you're literally living in the game. You can put the game down and you can come back and you can still be okay. So there's some thoughts there. I also want to say the development of the races in this game is really well done. This is just my initial thoughts of the game too, because as you can tell, I'm pretty low level on all of my characters except for the one that I boosted, but he doesn't count because I haven't played him much. I boosted him from like level 17. So the storylines are interesting, they're fun, they're captivating. I could literally spend hours just in solo playing story. And then sometimes like I got wrapped up on my human revenant, I got wrapped up in a world event and did a world boss, and I didn't even realize that that's what was happening kind of until I was already in it. And I was like, oh wow, you know, and I was just really surprised just by how it went down. I was pretty shocked. It was like a 50 story boss. I mean, it was huge. It was very cool. Let me use this. Let me see which one. So medium boots for engineers, medium armor. And if anybody in the comments knows what to do with these other than just destroying them, please let me know, because I haven't found a way to sell them or use them anywhere else. So let's see, that has higher defense, but this has a power bonus, so we'll equip that for now. We'll hold on to this in case we need it. It also has a power bonus. We'll equip some boots. We'll equip some pants. Maybe I can sell these. I'm not seeing anywhere. Account bound. Oh, I guess I could transfer them to a new character. If I use it, then it becomes soul bound. Okay. Which means it is only effective on this character. So there's an option. Okay. So as I was saying, when you're looking at these games, you want to make sure you're trying to look at it as holistically as possible. Don't just look at one thing. Like in a video, which I'll put a little card here. In a video that I made about why I switched from Throne and Liberty to Guild Wars 2, Throne and Liberty has pretty good graphics. For the most part, the gameplays are pretty smooth. But when I look at the game holistically, the ability to move up without it being a major grind, or you having to do some kind of thing where you're working with, you know, special guild mates. So go watch that video to understand, and the video before that to understand where it gets into the loot distribution. I made a video about loot distribution that the developers of Throne and Liberty released, and then I kind of just stopped playing after that. And then my friend was telling me about this game, so I went and checked it out, and it's pretty fun, and I like it. And like I said, I try to look at games holistically. I'm trying not to repeat myself too much, but I'm also in the middle of a fight. Ooh, okay, let me get to a safe space so I can get this thought out. Alright, so I try to look at the games as holistically as possible. Throne and Liberty had a pretty fun gameplay. It was cool that you didn't really need a mount because you could transmorph into animals and basically become a mount. And so it was cool in that way. But the loot distribution is what really sealed it for me, at least for now. If they don't fix that, then I'm not sure I'd be interested in playing again, just because of the way the loot distribution rules work. And again, I'll put a card right here, if I remember, in the video so that you guys can follow that path. There'll also be a playlist at the end of this video tagged so that you can kind of follow the path and watch some of that information. The combat in that game is pretty unique because your class depends on what weapons you have equipped. Unlike a game like Guild Wars 2, where you select your class and then your abilities change per what weapon you have equipped. In that game, your abilities and class change. There's no really set class that you have to pick. You can kind of play however you want. So in that case, it's really fun. But again, getting to the end game, there's really no benefit for me getting to end game. When I get to that point, I'm just like, you know, it's just kind of how it feels. Unless you have a big guild or a dedicated group of people, it's not really that great, that fun to me. If you have a dedicated group of people, it's probably a great game for you. So I have some people, but they all play their own games. And so I can't just like, hey guys, let's go play Throne and Liberty. Not all of the friends that I have like that game. So that's something you have to think about. This game, you can play with friends or solo, right? And you don't really need friends to get to the end game. I'm pretty sure I could just go all the way through to end game by myself. So that's a thought. Look at your game. Look at the combat. So again, back to that comment earlier, they were saying that the combat feels dated. But, I mean, yeah, it's a bit of an older engine. It's a bit of an older game. But, look, I can evade. I can dodge. It's as dynamic as you want it to be. If you just... If you just stand there and take it, then it's not going to be as fun. But if you get yourself moving around, look at that. All right, what's this? Oh, I could toss an elixir. It gives me protection and healing. That's pretty cool. Okay. Which that's an engineer specific ability, by the way. I may not stick with shield and pistol. It's just what I have to go with right now. So here's some underwater stuff. Here's the rebreather, the aqua breather, and a spear gun, which I will now equip. That lets me go underwater. I think I've already got that. I can use a rifle. And it changes my abilities. There we go. I'll save that for later. So this is going to be more AoE. Oh, he's obstructed. So a bit more crowd control. Let's see what this does. Oh, yeah. Ooh, look at that knockback. Blunderbuss shot. So, I like the uniqueness of this game. The graphics don't bother me so much. I like that when I change weapons, it changes my abilities. I like the fact that at level 10, I can unlock a back bar. I like the fact that I can basically make my hero however I want him to be. When I get to level 11, I'll be able to open that up and show you guys on this character. I can always go to another character too. But I like the fact that I'm able to go in. Oh, gotta destroy these harpies. But I can change my playstyle. I could be more up close and personal if I want to, and on the same class, or I could be ranged. So in that way, Throne and Liberty and Guild Wars 2 are very similar because I can change my playstyle based on the weapons that I have. But I get to keep my same class, and I kind of have a defined role that I chose with my class. And I don't know, call me old-fashioned, but I do kind of like that. Because a game like Throne and Liberty, with especially the way they do loot distribution, they are incentivizing people to play DPS, right? That's already a problem in MMOs. Everyone plays DPS. It's so hard to find good tanks. It's so hard to find healers. Most of the time you get fanks and feelers, fake tanks and fake healers, and those are the guys that are just DPS pretending to be a healer or a tank, and they'll put on like one tank ability or one healer ability or something like that, and then they'll go, and it's kind of trolls you, and it hurts the team overall because a lot of times you get into mechanics and you're just like, well, you don't care about mechanics, sure, but because a lot of DPS don't care about mechanics. Not all, but a lot of DPS just run in and they just want to, smash and slash, and that's it. Or slash and dash. And they don't care about, getting out of stupid on the ground or anything like that. So that can really hurt you if you are trying to actually progress in the game. So, that's why having defined roles is helpful, because you know what you're getting into. Now, this doesn't lock you. Guild Wars 2 doesn't really lock you into like, oh, you're going to be a tank, or you're going to be a healer, or you're going to be a DPS. I can pick engineer, and I can change based on what abilities I have equipped. Or I can pick Revenant or whatever, and based on the abilities that I have equipped, I can change my subclass, I guess you could call it. I could be ranged DPS. I could be ranged AoE DPS. I could be a healer. I could be, tank. I could be, up close and personal DPS. I can be, so many options. And there are some limits, but they've taken away some of those limits by allowing me to, here, I'll show you. By allowing me to, when you read like a spear or something like that, you get the option to train that weapon at level 80 or, with a specific mastery that you unlock further in the game. That allows me to further change my play style. So is Guild Wars 2 really worth it in 2025? I'm going to say absolutely yes. Because it's flexible, it doesn't lock you into a subscription. All you have to do really is purchase the expansions, and then you have literally it's all open world. I can literally travel anywhere I want in this world, and so far I haven't reached a gate that says, "Oh, you're too low level," or anything like that. It's open world, kind of like how ESO is, right? And you just buy the expansion, so you don't have to worry about a subscription. You have good gameplay. It's flexible to how your play style is. You just kind of look at what the classes provide as your base class, and then your weapons become your subclass, and your abilities become like a subclass. Your extra abilities over here to the right. You could be more, AoE DPS with support and, adding boons and healings to your allies, or, single target DPS with adding debuffs to enemies and whatnot. So in that way, I think it's absolutely worth it for those reasons. For the simple reasons that it's still fun to play. You're going to have literally hours and hours of gameplay just on one character alone. I have literally played it for days. I have diversified between multiple characters, and I have played it for, I want to say, almost 2 weeks now. And on some of my characters, I haven't gotten very far, and others I've gotten further. And that's just me, getting into the story and reading it and not skipping through everything. So even if you skip through everything, you're still going to have hours of gameplay, because I'm going all the way to level 80, as well as having to unlock this entire massive map. And I haven't even, that's just PvE and single player. I haven't even really gotten into endgame at all. I haven't gotten into, playing with friends. I haven't got too much. I played with one friend. I haven't really gotten into playing with friends too much. I haven't really gotten into, PvP. I think I said that. And running around and doing world bosses too much. I did one. I kind of fell into it by accident. But you got all these different benefits and these, it's just worth it. I would highly recommend trying it. I don't know if the sale in Steam store is still active, but if it is, I highly recommend getting it. It was only like $70 for literally everything, every piece of content this game has to offer, all the DLCs. And this game has been around since I think 2012, so that's 13 years worth of content. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good price. Otherwise, you're having, if the sale is gone, it's probably going to be, I think it was like 130. No, it was more. It was quite a bit more. So I think 140. So I think it was like half off, or almost half off. But anyways, that's still 13 years worth of content and hours upon hours of gameplay. Another really good point on why this game is worth it in 2025 is just look at this mount movement. Look at that. Look at this. The way you summon your mount's pretty cool. Each mount has unique abilities, like the raptor. It lunges forward. If I were to switch to my other mount, not that. The Springer, which currently I only have 2, it doesn't lunge forward. It's like a kangaroo bunny thing. It doesn't lunge forward, but what it does is if you hold spacebar, it shoots you way up into the air. So if you're maybe trying to get into hard to reach places, maybe let's see if this works. Yeah, look at that. I could jump up there if I was having trouble and I want to break the map. If you watched early, just a couple minutes ago in this video, you would have seen me go all the way around this rock just to get to this map point. But with this Springer, I don't have to. This thing's great for exploration. Oof. Although he hurts. Right? So, the character development is good. The class, the species, the race, whatever you want to call them, development is fantastic. They have tons and tons. Let me show you. Actually, yeah, right here. Nope. Right here. They have tons of outfits that you can buy. Cosmetics, if that's what you're into. I got one. They have tons of cosmetics you can get. They have a pretty good sized player base still, so I've never gone into an instance where I didn't see people running around and playing. Some games that have been around this long, you'll get in and you'll have like a really low player base and you're like, oh, okay, now what? So that's another good benefit is, hey, you got lots of people to play with, so there's lots of chances for you to get into a guild, make your own guild, invite people, create a community of friends that love this game as much as you do. So that's, again, another really good reason why this game is still relevant for 2025. If you're looking for a game where you can kind of build a community of people, Guild Wars 2 is a good game. It's a game that's kind of built on that. I mean, you can create multiple guilds. It looks like 6. I can have 6 guilds. I'm in one right now. This is the one my friend and I made. Ignibus and we made this. And you can make multiple guilds. You could do world versus world. So if you do a world versus world, that's like a PvP type thing where, you select a world to be in and you are going around and now I think you can, whichever world does the best gets specific benefits. You do like guild missions and there's so much to get into. I haven't even gotten into all of it yet. But I think it's 100% worth it for 2025. I really do. You got just another cool thing too is like with these guilds, any character I get on, because this is my guild, it's account based. Any guild I get in, that's why there's 6. It's account based, so I can be a part of other guilds, learn the game. Some are probably going to be more active than others, so you're going to want to be aware of that and don't be surprised, I guess, if some of these players are a little bit more aggro than others when it comes to you being online. They're going to want you to be more active, right? But not all the guilds are going to be like that. In fact, my guild isn't going to be like that. You come online, you want to play, you want to come chill, let's go. You come into the game and you research Night Wraith Legion and ask for an invite and oh, my inventory is full. I need more inventory space. Let's go sell some stuff. But anyways, You want to come in, you want to play, come on over. The Night Wraith Legion is here for you. We will accept you. We would love to play, and we'll be active fairly regularly. You see me making content about this, so I'm going to try to be as, active as I can in the game. And that should be good for me.
Dismissed.
You're going to have a community to already be able to jump in with. You're not going to be trying to get into this super blind. We'll be able to kind of grow in the game together and learn it together, which will be kind of cool. And who knows, you might even be featured in a video depending on, what's going on. Your character anyway. So give it a try. Give the game a try. That kind of wraps up my thoughts on if the game is worth it in 2025. You've got, again, the main points. Combat-wise, somebody said it felt dated. It can be as dynamic as you make it. It's not as fluid as maybe some other games that, like Elden Ring or something like that, where combat is the whole point of the game. But it's also not as rigid as some games. It is like turn-based games, like old Final Fantasy, I guess is what I'm thinking of. It is full of people. It is full of content. It is full of hours and hours of things to just do, and guilds to become part of, and PvE and PvP, and just so many things that you can be a part of in the game and you can experience. Not to mention unlocking cosmetics and the, holiday events that every single game has, and there's, temporary events and things like that. The map is massive. It's going to take me a while to get this thing fully unlocked on any one character. So I'm going to keep trying to play through the storyline. If you're looking for a game in 2025, I really do think this would be a great one for you. And real quick, if you're liking my content, please consider subscribing and hitting the like bell, the notification bell and the like button. And commenting down below and let me know how I can maybe improve, or how I have maybe how I've let you down. But really, if you like it, please stay around. And just let me know how I can make things better for all of you. That kind of wraps up my thoughts on the video and the live stream here today. If you would like to know more about why I switched to Guild Wars 2, go ahead and check out this video. I'm going to put it here at the end screen if I can, or at least put a card in it. And I will see you all in the next one. This is BattleRisk Gaming. Thank you for watching. This is